Hard to believe that just a few short years ago, when someone mentioned a chicken dinner, we assumed they were talking about a delicious hot meal, rather than successfully lodging a bullet in the brain of the last of 99 other armed survivors. How empty our lives were back then. Since then, Fortnite has come along, adding a slick, Pixar-esque visual style, bringing construction into the Battle Royale recipe, and smashing both Twitch and YouTube streaming records. If Fortnite has taught us anything, it's that if your game's good enough, then wild Battle Royale success can occur seemingly overnight. It's going to take a lot to topple Fortnite and PUBG off their respective perches, but these are the contenders vying for success in the newly crowded Battle Royale genre. Here are 8 new Battle Royale games that could be the next Fortnite.
Oh, hello there. I'm the show director. You know, as long as people have been fighting to death in the woods, crowds have gathered to watch.
The Darwin Project is a Battle Royale game that you can play right now, because it's just recently launched into early access on Xbox One. Or maybe that should be early axes?
2 players remaining.
The title of the game refers to Charles Darwin's theory of survival of the fittest, although ironically the people who are probably best at Battle Royale games are the ones who spend the least time outside doing exercise. There just aren't enough hours in the day to do both, as I keep telling my concerned family members. The Darwin Project differs from other Battle Royale games in some key ways that give this more of a Hunger Games vibe than anything else. For a start, each match has a show director who gets to close off zones to drive players together, drop off power-ups, and even dish out health to ailing players. Oh, and occasionally they'll drop a nuclear bomb.
I'm the Equalizer, the Instigator, a game show host with nuclear weapons!
With only 8 players in each round, it's designed to be more about carefully hunting players rather than our usual strategy of being surprised by them and spraying bullets everywhere. Because the battles take place in the frozen Canadian Rockies, you have to manage your temperature in order to survive as well, but starting fires will lead other players to your position. As the match continues, players will end up leaving more clues that allow them to be tracked. You know, like the trail of snack wrappers I leave when I've raided the cupboard instead of going to the gym. Fortunately, you can use the quick crafting system on the right bumper to craft ammunition, traps and upgrades to help prevent your snowy axe rampage ending like Jack Nicholson's did in The Shining. Oh, spoiler alert for that 38-year-old film. SOS describes itself as a social survival game, and it casts you not as a hard-bitten, improvisational combat specialist, but as a vapid reality television star doing their best to curry favour with the audience. In this case, that audience will be watching a live stream of the game and voting to alter the events of the match in real time to help out their favourite players. If, like me, you're the annoying one in your circle of friends, well then good luck. SOS will require every player to have a microphone, and the idea is to form temporary allegiances by high-fiving other players in order to collect one of 4 relics and earn yourself a ride on the helicopter off the island. Crucially, you don't actually need the 15 other players to die for that to happen, but hey, there's going to be a lot less arguing about who gets a window seat if everyone else is dead. In addition to other fame-hungry survivors, you'll have to deal with Lacuna Island's menagerie of gross monsters, though again, discretion is the better part of not getting your head eaten off. There's also a chance you'll end up with a nasty infection that will need to be managed by consuming the local strain of mushrooms or cooking up an antidote. SOS is playable in early access on PC and isn't actually confirmed for consoles as yet, but this post from the community manager suggests that it's definitely on the development team's list of ambitions for the game. Whether or not a game that relies on everyone being civil over voice chat can actually work remains to be seen, but I for one look forward to polite, constructive dialogue with strangers I meet online. What could happen?
Friends, man. Come on.
You're awesome. You're awesome.
Hey look, it's the first gameplay from Dying Light's standalone Battle Royale inspired game Dying Light Bad Blood. We really do spoil you here on Outside Xbox. Bad Blood gets its title from the fact that as a player you're attempting to secure samples of infected blood from zombie bosses on the familiar streets of Haran.
Big weapons do big damage. Make sure you're stocked up before you get anywhere near it.
Well, either that or it's named after the Taylor Swift song. Hey, it could be. Of course, this is sort of stretching the definition of Battle Royale, given that it's designed for 6 players rather than, say, 60 plus players. It's less Battle Royale and more just battle. Still, Bad Blood looks pretty cool. All the players are trying to collect 1,500 samples, but there's only so many to go around. Eventually, you're going to have to pick some of those samples off the lifeless corpse of one of your fellow players, because there's one seat on the evac helicopter and it's reserved for someone with their pockets stuffed with zombie claret.
If you want on this chopper, you're gonna have to persuade them to give it to you. Or just kill them.
Like any good Battle Royale game, the odds will be tipped by the addition of airdrops, though we reckon it would take a little longer than this to get into a full ninja outfit. That's the quickest costume change we've seen outside of a Lady Gaga concert. Bad Blood will appear at some point in 2018 and won't require a copy of the original Dying Light to play it.
You know what? I actually thought you were the least pathetic of the whole group.
Kickstarted way back in 2016 and in development for even longer, Islands of Nine Battle Royale has a distinct Crisis vibe to its visual style. It's all rubber suits, dense jungle and lens flare basically. Gameplay-wise, Islands of Nine is first person only, but otherwise plays the whole Battle Royale thing with a relatively straight bat, with players dropping in from the sky, pushed together by a constricting play area and managing limited inventory space for their scavenged items. The three maps are apparently fragments of a shattered planet turned into competitive arenas by a mysterious alien race called the Nine, who have probably put their alien feet up and are enjoying the entertainment with a bowl of alien popcorn. Ooh, maybe this is like their version of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Winner, winner, kangaroo box. The goal with Islands of Nine is apparently to offer more engaging gunplay than other Battle Royale games, with the developers aiming to make a great FPS game first and foremost. And if our experience in other competitive shooters is anything to go by, I'm sure we'll experience that excellent gunplay for all of half a second before we get our brains splashed across a nearby palm tree by a more skilled player and have to head back to the server browser. But that's on us, rather than the game. Islands of Nine's developers are currently in PC Alpha and are focusing on that version of the game for now, but it's due to arrive on Xbox One and PS4 sometime after the full PC release. If you're not familiar with Paladins, it's essentially a free-to-play, fantasy-themed Overwatch, a team-based, class-based shooter with colourful characters each with their own skills and ultimate abilities. But did we mention you ride a horse to get to the objective? Probably should have led with that. Paladins might seem like an Overwatch tribute act, but it's also got its eye on PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds' success as well, in its Paladins Battlegrounds mode. Really dancing close to those copyright infringement lawsuits, hey guys. The base game for Paladins is already on Xbox in early access, and it's actually worth a look if you somehow don't already have a copy of Overwatch.
Killing spree. 30 seconds remaining.
Battlegrounds mode was running in a limited time alpha on PC, but is currently unavailable to play, and it's not entirely clear if and when it'll be back. It seems fair to assume that when Battlegrounds mode is properly finished though, we'll get it both on PC and console too. Battlegrounds mode plays slightly differently from the base game, adding items and cards that offer new abilities or upgrades, and you can summon your horse whenever you like to literally hoof it around the vast game map. Matches will feature the full 100-player count we've come to expect from Battles Royale, and at the moment, 8 of the characters are available to choose from, carrying their abilities over into the new mode. Probably best to pick the one who has a sniper rifle though, right? In probably the most exciting development in the whole Battle Royale genre though, when you're downed in a team Battle Royale, you turn into a chicken and have a few seconds to attempt to flap your way to safety before you're permanently killed. Literal chicken dinners, you guys. It's the future. The first mistake Survival Games Battle Royale has made in its quest to be the next Fortnite is being called Survival Games Battle Royale, which makes it extremely difficult to Google. You just get a list of other, potentially better survival games. On the plus side though, find the game and you'll discover it takes inspiration not just from the wildly popular Battle Royale genre, but from similarly wildly popular game Minecraft as well. And Marvel reckons the Avengers Infinity War is the most ambitious crossover of all time. Survival Games Battle Royale takes the cutesy blocky charm of Mojang's building game, but adds a load of lethal weaponry, and blood for some reason. So if you've ever wondered what it would be like if you could cave a Minecraft villager's head in with a warhammer and steal his clothes, this is the game for you. Is it possible to unwonder something? Survival Games Battle Royale adds its own twist with maps that are dynamically generated at the beginning of each round, meaning local knowledge is basically useless. You'll find the same structures and landmarks, but they'll be in different places, and as you'd imagine from a Minecraft-inspired game, you can both destroy and construct like in FORNITE, changing the map permanently for every other player. If you're interested in Survival Games Battle Royale, which is currently in PC beta and scheduled to eventually arrive on Xbox One, steer well clear of Google and head to the 2.0 Studios Twitter account where they're leaving regular updates. You might remember H1Z1 as a game that has been out for a while. In fact, the original version of H1Z1 was released to early access back in January 2015 and sold over 1 million copies in just 2 months. With its King of the Kill Battle Royale mode gaining huge popularity between then and now, Daybreak Studios split the project in two. Now when people talk about H1Z1, they're referring to the free-to-play King of the Kill, and the original game is now called Just Survive, even though the Z in H1Z1 referred to zombies, which aren't in King of the Kill. And you thought the whole P. Diddy Puff Daddy thing was confusing. Or at least you did if you're as old as I am. For the most part, H1Z1 plays like your standard Battle Royale game, and in fact, PlayerUnknown consulted on the game early in its development. The biggest difference is that H1Z1 caters for up to 150 players in a single map, because apparently, battling against 99 other bloodthirsty maniacs isn't enough for some people. As of February this year, the final version of H1Z1 has been officially released on PC, and as of this month, it's just gone free to play. Apparently, it's still the development team's eventual goal to bring that finished, free-to-play game to consoles as well, where it should get a whole new lease of life, or at least a new lease of hundreds of thousands of deaths. As a unique addition, H1Z1 King of the Kill also includes Auto Royale. 30 teams of 4 players, each bundled into a 4-seater car, driving around, shooting opponents, and presumably bickering over who gets to choose the next song on the stereo. It's called Britney Spears' Greatest Hits for a reason, guys.
And in other news, the Giannis Corporation has announced a brand new Radical Heights dome to be completed outside of New Baltimore in the spring of 2024.
A surprise late addition to this video, free-to-play Battle Royale game Radical Heights was announced and launched into Steam Early Access this very week. And yet here it is in this very video. If we were any more current, we'd be a raisin. Radical Heights is a 1980s themed multiplayer survival game that boasts colourful graphics, video game arcades, and rideable BMX bikes. It's like Stranger Things, only with more shooting, or Stranger Things Season 2, only with less shooting. Where the game really fiddles with the formula though is with a cash system that carries over between rounds. Cash and items collected during rounds are added to your account and can either be spent on weapons, to get better weapons earlier in the round, or on cosmetic items, if you'd like your corpse to look really good after you get shot by a guy who bought a rocket launcher. Still, I am a sucker for a pair of sweet high tops. It remains to be seen how the introduction of money will affect the balancing of a game mode that usually starts with every player on an equal footing, but it's by a development team called Boss Key led by Cliff Bleszinski, famous for being lead designer on Gears of War, so we assume he knows a thing or two about multiplayer shooters. No word on a console version yet, beyond a tweet that says the possibility will be investigated after the game's full release sometime in 2019. Fingers crossed it's more successful than the developer Boss Key's last game, Lawbreakers, which was about as popular as my 2009 experimental jazz album. Don't bother googling that, and let's all pretend I had a 2009 experimental jazz album. So there you have it, 8 new Battle Royale inspired games that are looking to dislodge Fortnite and PUBG from your most played list. But which one would you choose if you could have only one? Let us know in the comments, and please like and subscribe for much more on these games as they land on consoles. Oh, and if you'd like to watch us playing Fortnite and shooting both enemies and the breeze, check out whichever of these 2 videos tickles your fancy. Thanks very much for watching, and we will see you next time.